Her name was Kelly Bergh Dove. She was just 20 years old, living in the quiet town of Bridgewater, Virginia, with her 4-year-old daughter. Life wasn't perfect, but it was good. They had a small home nestled between 2 large oak trees where her little girl would chase fireflies in the warm summer evenings, always begging to stay up just a little longer to watch them dance. She had a loving husband, her high school sweetheart, and a close-knit family that meant the world to her. Her mother, Rachel, and her 3 sisters were her rock. They talked nearly every day, shared recipes, advice, laughs, and sometimes just silence when the world felt too heavy. Kelly wasn't just a daughter or a wife. She was a mom with big dreams for her little girl. She worked hard to give her everything she deserved, even if that meant taking the night shift and running on barely any sleep. Her daughter's smile made every sacrifice worth it. That tiny house, though modest, was filled with love and the soft sound of lullabies humming through the walls at bedtime. To help with expenses and to put away something for her daughter's future, she worked the night shift at the Imperial gas station in Harrisonburg over on South Main Street, Route 11. It wasn't glamorous, but it was honest. Quiet, for the most part. The kind of job that gave you time to think while the rest of the world slept. All her sisters had worked there at one point or another, and they had this unspoken agreement. If one of them couldn't make a shift, another would step in. And that's exactly how she ended up working the night of June 18, 1982, covering for one of her sisters. It was supposed to be just another quiet night under buzzing fluorescent lights and the hum of the refrigerators. A few customers here and there, lukewarm coffee, a slow countdown to sunrise, nothing unusual. That night, her mom called the station, just like she always did. She always made sure her daughters were okay, always checking in to ask if they needed food, company, or just someone to talk to. Their conversation was ordinary, comforting. Her mom probably told her something funny about one of the grandkids or a new recipe from a magazine. Kelly laughed, said, "I love you." What none of us knew, what we couldn't have imagined, was that this would be the last time we'd ever hear her voice. Around 2:30 a.m., everything changed. The air turned heavy. Still, the kind of silence that settles right before something terrible happens. That was when she made her first call to the Harrisonburg Police Department. Her voice was steady, but she was clearly shaken. A man had entered the gas station. He was behaving strangely, pacing by the counter, and worse, he was improperly dressed. She didn't go into detail, but the implication was clear. He had exposed himself. She felt violated, as if the safety of her little corner of the world had been ripped open. The man didn't buy anything, just stared at her, smiled. But it wasn't a kind smile. It wasn't human warmth. It was cold, calculating. She ended the call hoping he'd just go away, that maybe he was just a confused drunk, but that's not what happened, not even close. Minutes later, she called the police again. This time, her voice shook. The man had started calling the gas station. Over and over, his voice was cruel, twisted, full of things no one should ever hear. He made threats, said obscene things, laughed like he was feeding off her fear. She told the dispatcher everything, begged for help. They said someone was on the way. She tried to stay calm, locked the door, kept looking out the windows, fear climbing up her spine like ice. She knew she was being watched. Then she saw it, A silver or gray Ford pulled into the parking lot. Her stomach dropped. It was him. She recognized him right away, sitting there in the driver's seat, calm, like he had all the time in the world. Like this was his moment. She called 911 again, this time in full-blown panic. Where were the officers? He's back. He came back. Then he got out of the car. She slammed the phone down. She didn't have time to wait. Every instinct in her screamed, run, hide, survive. But when the police finally arrived, she was gone. The gas station was eerily still. Her purse sat right where she left it. Her coffee cup still warm on the counter. No signs of a struggle, no broken glass, nothing out of place. It was as if she had vanished into thin air. Her family was shattered. Her mom, her sisters, her husband. We couldn't comprehend it. One moment she was living her life. The next, she had become a missing persons report, a headline. Her daughter kept asking when mommy was coming home. We imagine Rachel holding that little girl, trying not to cry, trying to be strong, but her world had crumbled. The police believed the man who took Kelly had a weapon. It was the only explanation for how she vanished so fast. Kelly wasn't someone who would go quietly. Everyone knew that. If he hadn't threatened her, she would have fought back. Leads were followed. A clerk at another store reported seeing a man who fit the same description earlier that night. Early 20s, shoulder-length blonde hair, disturbing stare. He didn't buy anything, just watched. When police spoke to Kelly's sisters, they revealed something chilling. The obscene phone calls she got that night. They weren't the first. All of them had received similar ones, late night, vulgar and cruel. Same voice, same laugh. We'd brushed them off as prank calls. Creepy but not dangerous. But this time the caller didn't just stay on the line. He showed up. And after Kelly vanished, the calls stopped, like he got what he wanted. For about 6 weeks there was silence. Then another gas station attendant in a nearby county got a call. Same voice, same words, same awful laugh. She reported it, but the call couldn't be traced. Technology just wasn't there. Every lead turned cold. Reporters came. Her family, devastated but desperate, talked to the media. Then came a revelation. Her parents believed they knew who did it. A man from town. Kelly had gone to school with him. He had a criminal record, harassment, exposure, prior arrests. Drove a silver gray Ford. But Kelly never said his name in the 911 calls. Why? Did she not recognize him? Did he hide his face? Or did she recognize him and freeze? Police questioned him, dug through his past. But this was 1982. No DNA, no cameras, no real evidence. Just suspicion. They investigated others, checked alibis, followed every lead, but nothing stuck. It was as if he and she vanished into the dark. Still, her family never gave up. They hired private investigators, put her face on flyers, billboards, the evening news. Her mother kept a candle burning in the window every night for years. A light for Kelly, a hope. Time passed. The case went cold. Eventually, she was declared legally dead. But how do you say goodbye without a body? We don't know what happened. We wish we could say she escaped, that justice was served. But we don't know, only what she left behind. She went to work that night expecting a normal shift and crossed paths with someone who didn't see her as human. Sometimes evil doesn't wear a mask. Sometimes it smiles. Sometimes it drives a silver Ford. And sometimes it leaves behind nothing but silence. That silence is what her family had to live with. And to the man who did this, if you're still out there, know this. She remembers you, your voice, your car, your eyes. Even if you buried her, the truth still exists, and someone someday will find it. Her name was Kelly Bergh Dove, and she will not be forgotten.